All right, so today we're going to talk about arcs of a circle. And we're going to compare and contrast the different pieces of our circle. So let's review what a circle is. Remember, to name a circle, we name it by its center. Okay, so if we look down at this picture, that would be circle D. Remember, you can also write out the word. Now, a circle measures exactly 360 degrees. Okay, so to find the measure of a circle, okay, there's nothing extra to do. It's just 360. Excuse me. So that's from the other day when we looked at just the basic circle vocab. So let's look at the new stuff today: minor arc, semicircle, and major arc. All right, a minor arc. Remember, arcs are pieces of your circle, the curved part. To name a minor arc, we use two letters. Okay. And so a minor arc measures between 0 and 180 degrees. Right. So to find a minor arc, what you do is you figure out what its central angle measure, and the central angle will have the same degree measure as your minor arc. So let's see what this information means on our picture. So if I look at my picture over here, a minor arc, an example would be this piece from A to B. Remember, arcs are the curved part of our circle. And so we would call that arc AB. That is our symbol for arc. Okay, so in this middle box, let's write symbol. The symbol for arc is, I say it looks like an eyebrow. So arc AB. Now you could reverse it and call it arc BA. That's the same thing. But it's measured between 0 and 180. And the way to remember if it's a minor arc is it smaller than half of a circle? Half of a circle is 180 degrees. If a whole circle is 360, half of a circle is 180. And so if this piece is smaller than half of your circle, it would be called a minor arc. There's another minor arc in this picture. It would be this arc from A to C. Okay, and we would call that arc AC, or you could call it arc CA. But if you look at my purple piece, it's definitely smaller than half of a circle, and so it's a minor arc. We will get more into the central angle is equal to the minor arc measure. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. All right, so let's look at a semicircle. And we need to add a letter because it did get chopped off. This is C over here. So to name a semicircle, we actually can use 2 or 3 letters. It just depends on what semicircle they're at, what part of this circle they want you to look at. Now, a semicircle is half of a circle, and we've already talked about half of 360 would be 180. And so it measures exactly 180. And so there's nothing, you don't have to go look for a central angle. You just know that a semicircle is 180 degrees. So there are actually 2 semicircles in this picture. So let's find one. From B, remember, arcs are the curved part, to C would be a semicircle. It is clearly half of a circle. And we would call that arc BC. There's another semicircle in this picture. It would go from B to C on the top half of the circle. Now, be able to tell the difference between the two, you'd use 3 letters to name the top one. So you would know that we want you to look at the top one, or that you want someone to look at the top one. Use BAC. So BAC would be that top semicircle. And again, you could say arc CAB. So let's look at major arc. Now, a major arc, you have to use 3 letters to name it. So let's change color here. All right, so we use 3 letters to name a major arc. Now, a major arc has to measure between 180 and 360 degrees. It has to be bigger than 180 and less than 360. So it's bigger than a semicircle. It's bigger than half of a circle, but it's smaller than your entire circle. Now, your major arc, there's 2 ways you can find the measure of it. You can add up all the minor arcs that make up the major arc, or you can do 360 minus the pieces that you don't want, which we call non-included arcs. But again, we'll look at that tomorrow so that you can see what that looks like. So let's look at the picture, because today we're just identifying minor, major, semi. Let's look at our picture and make sure we can find some major arcs. There are 2. So let's say I start here at A, go around to C, and keep on coming down to B. Okay, so we're looking at this piece in orange. Clearly that's more than half of a circle, so we call that a major arc. So it's arc A, C, B. You have to go in that order because A to C to B explains how you're going to go around your circle. Now, the other major arc is, change colors here. Let me go red. What if I started at A, and I'm going to come on the outside, go to B, and come around to C? Okay, that is definitely more than half of a circle. Okay, but it's completely different than the one I have colored in orange. So we would call that arc A, B, C. So that would also be a major arc. Okay, so you do have to be careful how you name these. The order of your letters does matter, and you want to make sure that you are tracing or highlighting using colored pencils, whatever. Don't just eyeball it, actually trace, either even just with the tip of your pencil to see the piece that you're looking at for your circle. So in the middle here, we're going to talk about how these are all the same. So we already said that they use the symbol, okay, that looks like an eyebrow. That's your arc. We can also say that it is a circle, it has the circular shape, okay, or part of the circle. What else could we say? How do we measure all of these pieces? We measure in degrees. Good, measure in degrees. Okay, I think we had someone in the other class tell us that they are all curved pieces. Okay, there's no straight lines. And that's probably enough. If you can think of another 1 or 2 you could add for sure. But what you really want to take away from this and make sure that you feel comfortable with is that an entire circle is 360 degrees. And we won't be using that a lot. We really will be spending time with minor, major, semi. But a minor arc, 2 letters, smaller than a semicircle. A semicircle, you name it by 2 or 3 letters. It's exactly 180 degrees. It's exactly half of a circle. And major arc, it's bigger than a semicircle, smaller than your whole circle. You name it by 3 letters. Okay, that's what you want to make sure that you are good with. Now, let's look at some examples that go with that so that you can see what we're going to ask you to do with this today. So this is the next thing that we're going to look at. Okay. And so basically they're going to give you names and they're asking you to look at a picture and come up with minor, major, or semi. So to help you, what I suggest that you do up here at the top, is go ahead and write how many letters you can use for minor, major, and semi. So a minor arc, you can only have two letters to name. A semicircle, you can have 2 or 3, and a major, you have to have 3 letters. So let's look at the first one. You're going to want pencil so you can trace. Arc FD. Okay, so it's 2 letters. So if it's 2 letters, we know it's minor or semi. It's not major because it's only 2 letters. So I come over to my picture and I look and I go, okay, F. Okay, and you always want to go the shortest, unless they tell you otherwise, to D. So F to D is a minor arc. F to D. The reason we didn't go the other way is because that would be a major arc and you need 3 letters. Now we got to look at number 2, and number 2 says arc FBD. So FBD, you have to go from F to B to D. So F around to B to D. Okay. And if you look, 3 letters, you know it's a semi or a major. Trace it. It's bigger than a semicircle. It's more than half, so that's major. And then erase. So now we're going to look at ACD. So A to C to D, again, shortest distance from A to C would go this way, and then to D. So we're looking at this piece of our circle. 3 letters tells it's a semicircle or a major arc. To determine you look, it is a semi. Okay, and that's what we would write. Now we look at arc BFC. Again, start at B, come around shortest distance to F, come all the way around to C. We know 3 letters means semi or major. Trace it, obviously bigger than a semicircle. That would be major. Again, erase. Okay. Look at arc AD. So A to D. Now, if you look at AD, remember you don't go through, you go around. So there you go. Okay, now, shortest distance. You could either go that way or you could actually go this way. Either or. Semicircle. All right, so pause the video right here. Try 6 through 10 and then come back and take a look. So I'll give you a minute to get yourself organized, but I want you to pause the video, try 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then come back and check and make sure that you're good. All right, so hopefully you would pause the video so you can come back and check. So ED, you know it's a minor or semi. Shortest distance from E to D is right here. That clearly is a minor arc. Arc BC, again, shortest distance from B to C would be from here to here. 2 letters tells you it's a minor or a semicircle, so that is a minor arc. Then we do arc ADF, again, shortest distance, okay? A to D to F, A to D to F. Okay, if you caught yourself going the other way, you don't want to hit F before you hit D. That's not how we wrote it. A to D to F, semi or major. That is bigger than a semicircle, so that is major. FEC. Again, start at F. Shortest distance to E, around to C. Okay, so it's a semi or a major. You have to look at your picture. That is a semicircle. And then arc EC. So again, 2 letters. It's a minor or a semi. Start at E, come around to shortest distance to C. So that is clearly smaller than a semicircle. That's a minor arc. All right. So thank you for watching. Let us know if we can help you with anything.